Okay, welcome to another super fast lightning round. We each have a topic apiece. We got 5 minutes to discuss, and there we go. And Casey's first, so take it away, Casey.
Huh? What? What are we doing? Oh, lightning strikes twice. Okay. Super fast. Okay. Well, super fast. Tell me, Genie pops out. You got three wishes. Go.
Oh, damn. I would say um boy, that's a tough one.
Well,
Um,
let's say he gives kitchen sink my crossfeed three wishes. So we have to democratically decide what they'll
yeah,
either
yeah.
be.
I think one thing I would want is to have a longer to basically age slower, right?
Hmm, hmm.
To have more time to discover and study things, like learn and be able to solve problems, right? Because it like that episode of Star Trek, too short a season, I think it was, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's like having more time to be able to solve problems or dream things up or become a better artist or something would be cool. Um,
Just you or humanity or
I,
just the four of us?
you know what? The four of us. um, Maybe humanity in general. Yeah, yeah, I think that would be good.
Hmm.
Because we could solve like all you could say, oh, well, get rid of disease or whatever. Well, we would be able to do that if we lived longer, like aged slower, obviously, because it would be stupid to live longer if you hit like your 80s and you just kind of were all decrepit and crippled and you just kept on living. Like that would suck. You want to be as youthful as possible for as long as you can. So I think that would be one.
Mhm.
And I think also too, people would be like, well, what about overpopulation in that case? I think people would behave differently if they knew their life was much longer. Like you're instead of living to be like 70 or 80, you might live to be 300. So people are going to be less likely to have kids right away. They'd be like, hey, you know what? We could put it off. And then by the time they get to a certain age, they're like, yeah, you know what? Eh, we don't need kids.
Hmm. You
So
know
I don't.
what one wish ought to be is that there is uh, a man and machine like everywhere, so nobody has to be hungry. You know,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, which could be solved if we lived longer too. That's something.
hmm.
Um,
But why not just have it poof into existence?
True.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
then you
Um,
don't have to go mine all that radioactive ore.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um, Maybe a reverse engineerable warp drive to just poof into existence.
mhm, hmm. That would be cool.
Just think
Yeah.
of how that would change things.
Hmm. So then, okay, so we live longer,
Hmm.
we can travel faster than light, and we can eat anytime we want.
Yeah, we will never starve.
That sounds pretty awesome to me. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
yeah, and a lot of people be like, oh, well, oh, hold on, I might have paused the timer so on accident.
oh,
So we've
oh,
got a little,
we can stop time too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this will be a little longer than usual. I just noticed. I was like, wait a second. um,
The genie gave us a freebie.
exactly. Oh man. Yeah. Well, a lot of the things, having a longer life would really make a difference, and not have resource like food, of course, is a big deal. Um,
Yeah,
and being able to travel across the galaxy in a matter of years or something would be a huge deal.
especially
Um,
with a longer life, because
it,
even faster than light, it's still quite a long
it
time
is, yeah, yeah. So
to
you,
get around. It's not like Star Trek where you're like, Mr. Data, how fast at warp nine? And you're like,
yeah,
3 minutes.
yeah. It would still be a long time.
Other
Uh,
end of the galaxy.
yeah, but that would, I think it would, a lot of other problems that exist currently would cease to exist after that. And like I was
Mhm.
conjuring before I noticed the timer, some people would be like, oh, I want a bunch of money. Well, you know what? If you live to 300, you would have a bunch of money. Like you'd
Right.
have more than enough time to figure out, to acquire the wealth and material things that you desire. Or maybe by the time you hit a certain point, you'd realize, I don't need any of that shit at all.
I mean, if people lived longer, never had to worry about where their next meal comes from, and we could go to other worlds if we want to. I
Hmm.
mean, all of this stuff kind of plays into one another. Like overpopulation won't be a problem if we can all, you know,
Yeah.
go wherever we want, right?
Well, we
Um,
like currently we do know in fairly close proximity to Earth, there's Earth-like planets.
mhm,
So
mhm.
that's a thing.
Yeah. And as far as like not needing to worry about food and stuff, that
Mhm.
would drastically alter our economy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
I mean, you could still have restaurants and stuff like that for, flavor,
Well,
but
yeah,
you can also have your flavorless health pucks. So,
yeah, exactly. Well, like I've said before, the replicator is the key to the Star Trekian economy's existence.
oh, maybe that's better than the man machine because
Yeah, a
I could
replicator,
I can make anything.
almost.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
But even in it, like the book that you gave me about Benjamin Sisko's autobiography, even in that world, I mean, in the book, people go to the restaurant, his
Hmm.
dad's restaurant, because they like this Creole cooking and stuff that you can't really replicate.
Oh yeah.
And so you'd still and even then, like original things are still very valuable. So, but you'd still be able to get basically all your material needs met by
Yeah.
a replicator. So
Yeah.
there we go. Replicator and
Oh,
replicators, warp drive, and long life
yep.
or slow aging, let's say.
Yeah. That
All right.
sounds like a good trifecta.
I
Well,
think it
that
is.
and stopping time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was just a little bonus that we got there. um, let's see. Okay, so it's on to me now, and I swear it'll be 5 minutes this time. So, uh, this is sort of a politics thing. Government shutdowns,
Government
as they
shutdown.
apply to like the U.S., because they're always talking about it. Oh my God, if we don't do this, the government's going to shut down. It's going to shut down. It's going to shut down. Like we've avoided a shutdown, or it did shut down, but it's like it doesn't actually shut down, does it?
No, yeah. To that, I would say, don't threaten me with a good time
Yeah,
because,
yeah, exactly. I know. I'm like, hey, all right, cool.
yeah, please do. Like,
Don't throw me in that briar patch. Oh man.
yeah. That's something I don't know that any other country really does, right? Like that's kind of a U.S. thing, isn't it? Um,
Probably.
yeah, it
It just
seems
has.
it seems like an empty threat. Like, well, it is an empty threat
Well,
because
yeah,
they never
because
actually.
we've seen what happens. It's happened multiple times, and basically all that you get is like, parks have closed. They spend money and energy to put up barriers around parks and things. It's almost as if they just want to like just rub it in or something.
Yeah.
It's
Well, isn't it also like government employees, including the military, don't get paid during that time, except
um
for the politicians?
I was gonna say, yeah, yeah. Congress and the Senate, they still get their paychecks and stuff.
Funny how that works.
Hmm. And the FBI is still like doing its thing, and the CIA still has a big enough budget to generate coups in foreign countries. Um, and things like that. All this stuff still happens.
Yeah.
And it's like they act like it's this big deal, but it's like, you know what? It doesn't look that much different. Um, you know, it's not like
Yeah.
the whole world grinds to a halt.
So they set these budget deadlines for themselves, and then they can't agree on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the populace is supposed to suffer for that.
That's
Well, if you guys can't figure out what you're put in office to do, well, first off, you ought to be fired.
I
you know,
agree. Yes.
but but then take the budget and put it to a popular vote and let the people figure it out for you.
Yeah.
Because like life has to go on.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. It's
Everything
ridiculous.
is freaking partisan when it doesn't even need to be.
I know. It's like even things that basically everybody can agree on when it comes to. I mean, for the most part, most people agree that roads and things, the military is relatively important, and certain big things having to do with the whole country, most people agree on.
Mhm.
But yet, those things they can't agree on because there's some kind of disagreement politically
Even
between these
when you
factions.
agree that something is important, the way that they spend the money on it
It,
isn't really an agreeable
it it's
way to
asinine.
do it. Yeah.
It's so wasteful too. And every year, the amount of money that they demand or want increases. And it's like I'm not seeing. You would think that by now the streets would be paved with gold by how much money they're spending, but no, there's potholes everywhere. Bridges are falling apart, and it, like, come on, where is this money going? That's what I want to know. Like,
And
hey, maybe.
where's it coming from? A printer? Oh, wait.
Yep,
Yeah,
pretty
kind
much.
of.
Well, the tax money that the citizens of the U.S. pay is a drop in the bucket compared to the actual deficit and debt that's out there, like the money that's spent. So, yeah, basically, it is just coming out of thin air.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like trillions of dollars on the military and even when we overstep our reach and act like the world police, we can't even do that well.
Yeah.
So it's all wasted, all of it. Like,
Oh, I know all this infrastructure stuff that it's like, again, how come the roads, the highways, the freeways and stuff are not like coated in diamond by this point?
yeah.
Like that is
Well, in the
trillions of dollars. Like the amount of money. I mean, trillions. I can't even fathom what $1 trillion
right,
would be.
exactly. Like that much money probably shouldn't even exist for a country with less than 400 million people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many millions or billions of dollars per person is that? You know,
That's a
where
really
does that
good
money
point.
come from?
That like oh, that's a
Yeah.
really yes. That is absolutely a thing like that people should be considering. The annual budget of the U.S. If you divided it up amongst everybody, it would be a pretty big chunk of change.
Yeah. Geez, I'm
Oh, geez.
curious
Well,
about that.
we've got a screaming cat now, so it's probably time to conclude this lightning strikes twice episode.
Floyd's like, my ass is on fire.
He has a topic idea, I think. What's your idea, Floyd? You got 5 minutes, okay, buddy? Oh, okay. Well, now he's silent. I guess he's a little camera shy. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging out and watching this episode.
Meow.